Faith in God, perseverance, yeah. Hey, you gon' make it, yeah, just keep on waiting. Hey, let that hating be your motivation. Hey, you gon' make it, yeah, just keep on praying. Cause God can hear everything you say, yeah. He can hear you, man. Hey, you gon' make it, yeah, just keep on waiting.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Let's lay down this primer.
Alright guys, notice right here, the tape line went over, we got going under. It doesn't matter, we're not trying to be perfect. We're only going to spray a section. We're just trying to avoid getting primer everywhere. Once we get it all done, we're going to sand it down anyway. And we don't want, we brought it as far as we can because we don't want to stay right here. We only need to primer this area here, okay? But we don't want to tape it right here because we're going to leave a hard edge. And when you're trying to sand out that hard edge, you're going to be sanding into too much of this. We want to feather it out as much as possible. We're going to be primering this area here with our 2K primer, and we're going to be primering this area here with our 2K primer. If it exceeds this way a little bit, that's fine, but when it comes back out, we're going to end up putting epoxy primer on this because it's got bare metal showing, okay? And then we'll primer over that. So taking a step back and forth kinda, but I just wanted to kind of get this going for you guys. It's going to be all right. I'm going to take care of that, no issues. So we're going to primer over that, and let's get it. Now we went off to the edge over here because we want to go ahead and go that. We don't want to stop at the edge. That way we can sand over there. You see how I didn't touch the line? We're covering up only our primer areas, and all this will be sanded out. Don't stress. Don't trip out if it looks like you got orange and all that. It's going to level out a little bit more. It's just primer. We're going to block sand it anyway. This is only the first coat. We're going to do 3 coats. 3 coats to help with any other minor imperfections you have from the block. The second coat might even come out here a little bit more, just in case when we were sanding with that block we had some scratches here. So that's how we're going to do that. Not really concerned about these 2 spots, but they're still little spots, and nonetheless we don't want to get overspray everywhere. We're going to connect these 2 pieces so it's got an even sand when we sand. Don't worry about that. That's okay. We're mainly worried about it getting everywhere. You know, we got it on low PSIs anyway. Don't be afraid to cake your primer on there. I'll go ahead and go over that too. It wasn't really metal. It was kind of burning through, but not really. It'll be all right. Okay, now on these pieces here on the door, same thing. Just got to make sure we go all the way to the edge over here. Same thing, stay down here. Same thing went to the edge of the door. Now you're probably wondering why you don't see any Bondo. It's not because I sanded the Bondo all the way out. It's just because what I'm actually going to spray primer on are 2 very little dings. We have, well, actually 2. We have 2 here and then another 2 over here. A total of 4 dings. They're very, very little dings. Like, they're minute. You can't even see them. But once it's black, you will. So we're going to primer over them to block sand it. If it was overall just a regular white paint job, then you could probably get away with it. But we're going to go ahead and spray it and cover them up. I remember where they're at. I took a picture before. Plus it's sanded down. I know where they're at. We got these 2 here and these 2 here. We're just going to spray this entire area here and the same over here. Okay guys, remember, we're just taping off areas, we're spraying primer. You could mask off the whole truck, but we're not, again, we're spraying at a very low PSI. We're just trying to cover up little spots. And the way I taped it's fine, and it's not gonna get everywhere. We're not spraying that crazy, but just keep in mind that one mistake you could make by doing this is make sure you tape off the edge, because if this thing falls over and touches your primer, it leaves an indentation. Then you're gonna have to let that dry and add more primer because you have a fresh mark in your primer. You don't want that. You can sand out runs in primer, but when you get lines and messes, you gotta do a higher build, and well, we just don't want to go through all that. Just make sure you tape off the pieces that overflap on the outside. We're not gonna get none of the lights, not the perfect. I mean, we got it covered off, but it's not a beautiful tape job. I was taught by one guy one time that you always wanna have a good tape job when you're painting. We're not painting right now, it's just primer, so it's okay. But when I tape it off to paint, you'll see I take my time and we're gonna make sure everything is taped off correctly. So let's get these things sprayed on this side of the truck. We're almost done. Same thing down here, there was a couple little dings, that's why I masked off this big area. Don't be afraid to lay that primer on there thick. Same thing on this side, guys, no difference. Down here, you want to make sure there's a muffler behind that. Definitely don't want to get no primer on that. I went ahead and taped off this whole area because we have a lot of burn throughs, and I just want to get an even coat because there's a lot of scratches. Okay guys, we're gonna let this flash for 20 minutes, apply the second coat, another 20 minutes, and we're gonna do a third coat, and we'll have to let it flash completely after that, and we'll start getting this sanding. Okay guys, so here it is, 3 coats of primer, 2K primer laid down, dry to the touch, but it is not dry to sand yet, it needs to sit. I went ahead and went all the way across the top on this one so I can get a nice even sand all the way across. Got the 2 dings here I was talking about earlier, these other 2 here. Got this one here. Everything looks good. I went ahead and took the tailgate off. Got both of these here. Reason I took the tailgate off is because I'm working on another spot. I found a couple more little dings, but I want to get this primered and move it out so I can clean up in here. Got these down here. Everything looks good. So yeah, 2K primer, 3 coats, high build. On to the next step, we're going to be block sanding. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay linked up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to get all notifications, give it a like, and we're going to be moving on to the next project. And the next project is going to be sanding this primer down. We're going to be spraying these spots with guide coat. You can use a black spray and all that, but we're going to get into that next video. I don't want to move too far ahead. One step at a time. Appreciate you guys again. Thanks. Make sure you hit the like button. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
God got a plan for you. He got a plan for you. God got a plan for you. He got a plan for you. They said I wouldn't.